U.S. government also requires that you have a customs bond. All right? A customs bond is an insurance policy that is payable to customs in the event that the importer does not comply with the import requirements. What am I really saying there? The government wants to make sure you're going to pay. That's all. They want to make sure that you're going to pay your duties and taxes. And if you stiff the government, then they've got an insurance policy that they could go against to make sure that you pay. That's all a customs bond is. I get customers all the time that get freaked out about it. All right? It's very simple. Now, how much of a bond should you get? You have 10 days to pay your duties and taxes. All right? You have 10 days to pay it. What you want to ask yourself is how much product, how much duties and taxes are you going to accumulate in those 10 days? Because if you have a $50,000 bond, and in those 10 days, you rack up $45,000 worth of charges that are unpaid, you can't import anything more than $5,000 in. If you import something in for $6,000, they're going to reject it. See what I'm saying? When you pay something, then your amount goes down again. So your insurance or your customs bond has to equal the amount that you have due to the government. That might be $10,000, it might be $100,000, it might be $1 million. It really depends on your company specific. However, here I'm going to show you something, how to save money. Who does importing here? Who's an importer? Just Russ? You import also, okay. There's two types of bonds, okay? There's a single entry bond that covers one entry, or there's a continuous bond that covers your transaction for 1 year. Let me tell you the difference. A single entry bond normally will cost $75 to $100. A continuous bond will run anywhere between $360 to $500. Now, Candy, if you do, let's say, 10 imports a year, and you do a single entry bond every time, that's going to run you anywhere between $750 to $1,000. I would suggest to you that you would go out and get a continuous bond. Okay? If you do 1 or 2 imports a year and you call me up and say, Mike, I want to buy a continuous bond, I would say, you probably just want a single entry. See the difference? Okay? You want to know what your company, what's your shipping patterns. All right? I'm telling you, everybody is going to try and sell you a continuous bond. If you don't need it, don't buy it. Customs broker. Hiring a customs broker is no different than hiring any other employee in your company. Extreme care should be taken in the selection process. The ability to communicate with your customs broker should be your number one selection criteria. I can't tell you how many times, again, I get people that call me up and say, how much is your entry? What do you charge for an entry? And an entry goes anywhere from a simple Canadian cross-border of $20 to a more complicated entry overseas to $150. And I know people that will select customs brokers because this broker will do it for $50 and this broker will do it for $55. I better take the $50. They don't ask any other questions. Why take that risk? Does your customs broker have a compliance program? Ask that. Does your customs broker do post-entry work? Do they do tariff classifications? And I'm going to leave this off by saying, are they CTPAT certified? You know, I always got to go into the dictionary myself and see what the acronym for CTPAT is. I'll get that and write it up for you. CTPAT is, I can't come up with it, but I'll get that for you.
Customs and Trade Partners Against Terrorism.
Thank you. Okay? It's a program that the government came up with, the United States government came up with, in coordination with the Canadian government, that said, look it, we need to know who the good guys are, and we need to keep the bad guys out. So if you're CTPAT certified, that means that the government knows who you are. They've come and inspected your facility. They know that you have compliance. They know what your product is. They know what you do, and they give you certain privileges that non-CTPAT members don't have. How many people in here have Nexus passes? Okay? CTPAT is similar to a Nexus program. Right? When you went to get your Nexus program, you had to go for an interview. They checked on you. They made sure you weren't a bad guy or a bad woman. And after they said, okay, we trust you, they treat you differently, right? Same thing with CTPAT. And I'm gonna say, remember the example I said where this broker is $50, this broker is $55, so I'm going with the 50. Well, what I didn't tell you is the $50 broker is not CTPAT certified, the $55 broker is. Who do you think you have more of a chance of your shipments being held up with are? Okay? It's common sense, right? Now, is your business, your product, your time worth $5 more? Okay? Yeah. I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to say you need to know in the international business, you need to know how much your business is worth. What is one day worth in your business? Because when you're starting to pick your partners and you're starting to pick your team and you're judging them because they're $10 cheaper, they're $20 cheaper, they might even be $100 cheaper. That's how you're picking your team, and you don't even know how reliable they are. You're not putting much of a value to your company or your product. And when we talk about CTPAT certification, you know, nobody will come out and tell you that there's a direct correlation between CTPAT and the number of inspections that you get. off the record, I will tell you that if you took a study of the companies that are CT-PAT and how many times they get pulled over for inspection, and the companies that are CT-PAT being inspected, I'm almost positive that. Yep, yes. Customs brokers are CT-PAT, freight forwarders are CT-PAT, shippers are CT-PAT, importers are CT-PAT. The more people that you have inside your supply chain that are CT-PAT certified, the smoother your supply chain will run. And that's all it takes is a question. Are you CT-PAT certified? I get 1,000 calls a day that says, will you quote my shipment? I probably get 1 or 2 calls a month that say, are you CT-PAT certified? That should raise a red flag to you. Or, do you have a compliance program at your company? Do you have any violations with your company? Because I would think those type of things are just as important as how much are you going to charge me? And again, I want to go on record by saying, I'm not saying that price should never be an issue. Okay? I'm just saying all these other factors should also be brought into play when you're deciding to pick your team for customs brokers, freight forwarders, whatever you do. Okay? Duties and responsibilities of a customs broker. Conduct customs business on behalf of others. Entry and admissibility of merchandise, classification, validation, payments of duty, taxes, other charges, refunds, rebates, and duty drawbacks. We'll do all the preparation of your documents. Electronic transmissions, invoices, documents, invoices, and bills. Key to a successful broker-client relationship is good communication. Okay? You know, it's funny. I keep bringing that relationship word into this. Critical compliance requirement of the broker or client relationship is an executed and valid power of attorney. I need to be able to do business on your behalf.